Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great today. Okay, so I have so much to say, but I won't say it all. And it looks like I'm gonna speak a little bit of Igbo in this video. So, Obone Igbo, and you're listening to me now. Achomki Gemonti. Unu na yo na funa ihe me nwanne anyị nwoke NNAMDI KANU bụ ihe akwado a long time ago. It's a plan. I don't really know a lot of people who were not expecting this to happen. I personally was expecting it to happen. But always something and we want to caveat to this. Naturally speaking, they have psychologically prepared us enough for it. But no matter how much anyone prepares you for something like this, barefaced, glaring injustice, given that we are in a country where terrorists who kill, and they don't just kill, they do sacrificial killing. They kill in the most horrific manner known to mankind. They just get taken to a place where they call rehabilitation center, where they basically just take care of them, give them VIP treatments, and then the next minute they call them repentant terrorists and are integrated into the Nigerian system. In a country that does this, a country that tolerates hardened terrorists, globally proscribed, having peace talks with government authorities, having press conferences, terrorists that disembowel pregnant women, take their children, their babies out of their wombs and then kill the babies, are pardoned without even a chastisement, nothing, just pardoned, integrated, all VIP. In a country that is like that, one would expect that it is absolutely impossible to sentence a man like NNAMDI KANU for what he said in a broadcast. But we are living in a theater of the absurd. Nigeria is a quintessence of absurdities. But that's not even where I am going. Nene benaga. Ken Munti. Unu na yo na funa since kamwe Donald Trump mecha luta Nigeria for all their wickedness and crimes. Chupuna wenya ike owe designate Nigeria. That ever since then, he went there. Izibwe watching there, all of them have been fighting, looking for how to say that it is the problem of Igbo people. No Igbo melo Trump juwe lota Nigeria. Etosi we lota Nigeria now. The same BBC that coined the propaganda terminology of Igbo Q was the first to fire the first shot by claiming that it was IPOB affiliated organizations that carried out the campaign to Donald Trump. Kiwe man against those guys NUBU. Kafa we bidaga bubendi bai. Nka make the kwa make on a walk on your. Ebutekwa another one. Nka make wa kona be trend on mukwa. Ebutekwa another one again now. That knows some Biafra, we put some stupid document has now with them from 2021. Meanwhile, Trump had already designated Nigeria in 2020 before. Ghana na natural death. So basically, if you look at it, if you hana noni bihariak everywhere, now try to hagis we rope on the book in Kebidaga before Donald Trump Polundia Milan and Nigeria. He had the plan. Had chohoka ndi body normal, the okay, the same. Before Trump land there, because now Malugo Nambu Trump ga land in Nigeria within them, and all got fear of how we carry out their plans against Ndibo. That is why NNNAMDI KANU Juebia, to me, not as a surprise, but as a setup or distraction or setup. Actually, can the buy react here? Can the buy be do declare basita to munkan na nibo ka we mwiki buluzin di befa uniform. Weje ba sine go serious threat in that place. Then we serious and we can declare state of emergency na buy. We buluzi uniform repentant in one hand we unleash it on our people. Mbe repentant terrorists basi na bayana army na bayana police be kichi na ndi ni na haiti ngasi na army no. The bank kwan muntio. Since the Civil War of 1967 and 1970, Ayadibe were anywhere close to freedom as we are today. Not for once. Chineke na azagokwe bela anyo. No, hear your brother now, because I'm in a place where I should know. I have never come across an Igbo person. Maybe there are one or two exceptions, but it's hard. I've not come across an Igbo person that deep down in their soul does not wish and pray for Chineke na tuzana awa ekbereke inyani freedom kainwelo umwai. Only Igbo obuni for ngulala niya. But this pain and this burden now bali everywhere. Mwana wasiki as your own brother no ni simini maybe hesieme that na Chineke na zage belawa, not that no na chi just zage already. Ndia we na chozi ke provoke why can you make something oga by me tupu nyemaka na chi bia elu ayaka obuna hebuto sigondi ba nine e akwa set up. So achom you with a video Kesasia video to as many people as possible. One the buying in and I'm say who nyo bana dere no ju una ango na ungo na unku na bia. At the US Congress hearing on the designation of Nigeria, hearing now take place right now. A congressman, black man, literally was speaking about NNNAMDI KANU to the hearing of the whole world media not there. The guy when they disgrace Nigeria with the case of NNNAMDI KANU even mentioned that the guy had to defend himself with sickness and everything. Yet terrorists are walking around free, holding press conferences. Owanina Malugo, Nigeria is dancing naked. Completely naked in front of the whole world, and only Nigeria seems not to know that it is naked. Happen on Nigeria, okay? Happen on Nigeria. Una dabakwanana trap in the Nigeria. Dono muna kananti, jidono muna aka. Una wakwana anwa overreact to heneme 19 work because decision on our brother. Mpotia Adiko decided I will not speak more than that. Una wana we baye na trap mpakara ndi kwensua because I daba na trap fa more deaths for us. Don't worry yourself about Mazi. Lotana mbwagia today 19 woke ya puta, and it will happen soon.
Hello everyone. I just want to try to be as brief as I can, and I'm dropping this quickly here because of NNAMDI KANU's incarceration and his judge Justice Omotosho, I think. And I think he's the same Justice Omotosho that said Fubara should be grateful to the president for suspending him for 6 months and declaring a state of emergency in Rivers State. Yes, the same justice that passed NNAMDI KANU to say he was not going to open a defense on his case is clear. You understand? And why it is clear is that he was given a judgment by the Court of Appeal. Okay? Judgment in his favor by the Court of Appeal. The judgment was not honored by the government of the day. He was still restrained and incarcerated despite the judgment to release him, to discharge and acquit him. So now you expect the same NNAMDI KANU to open a defense on a case that was judged in his favor by the appeal court, that the government of the day did not uphold. If the government did not uphold a judgment in his favor, it means they are not going to uphold any judgment until it's in the favor of the government of the day. This same justice that is supposed to present judgment in his matter, the same justice that said Fubara should be grateful to President TINUBU for declaring a state of emergency in Rivers State and suspending him as a governor. If his judgments are in that pattern, how do you think NNAMDI KANU will receive fair judgment? Because his judgment is not seen as justice served. His judgment is seen as siding the government of the day. You understand? So my talking and your talking on this matter before the judgment is not prejudice. It's not prejudice because we are not directly part of the case. If anyone is directly part of the case, you have no business talking on this matter until the judgment is served. But as many of us as are out there, Nigerians, seeing these things playing out, we can come out, we can speak as much as we can because we are not party to the case, but we are seeing what's going on and we are seeing it as a great injustice to the IGBO people, to the people from the East, and to NNAMDI KANU as a person. It's a grave injustice and it should not happen. Okay, and there's this saying that the enemy of a man is from his own household. This particular witch hunting we're talking about, I doubt if it's coming from the north. If you notice, the president has not talked about it. President TINUBU, since he assumed office, he has not said anything concerning NNAMDI KANU. Do you know why that is? Because I believe there are some powers from the east that are behind it. I believe there is a quid pro quo situation between those powers and the government of the day. Quid pro quo. Do you know why that is? It is because NNAMDI KANU he's been very violent in his speech. And violence in your speech is democratic. It's constitutional because your freedom of expression is guaranteed in the constitution of the country. Freedom of expression is not just freedom of speech, it's freedom of how you tender your speech. You can be violent, whatever it is, you are expressing your pain and your grievances. NNAMDI KANU only came out from Buhari's time, you know, to shout and to vent against the killing of Easterners by people from the north. How will herdsmen come from the north all the way to the east? You are killing people and taking away their farms. You are kidnapping them and asking government to pay ransom. From the north to the east to do all of those atrocities. NNAMDI KANU came out. It's the same thing we are facing today, that President Trump is saying they want to send people to Nigeria because of this same matter. NNAMDI KANU came out and vehemently condemned this. He did not say people should take guns and go and kill the president, or take guns and go and destroy the military base and all that. He said defend yourself. Defend yourself against your attackers. He may have included the military that came to carry out huge genocide in the east, Operation Python Dance and all of that. He may have said all of that. You know, because they were killing these people, and your constitution does not allow these people to carry guns, because the killers are carrying AK-47s and other assault rifles. But your people cannot carry anything other than cutlass and bottles and sticks. But they killed them after killing them in a Biafra war. You are coming to kill them again legally. I mean, are they not human beings? So if NNAMDI KANU vehemently made statements, strong statements against these things, it's democratically allowed. Worst case scenario, you want to say it's sedition. But there's no provision for sedition in a democratic government. And even if there was provision, sedition carries maximum of 2 years imprisonment. NNAMDI KANU has been in prison for more than 2 years. if he was even judged to be sedition. But coming out to say terrorism, NNAMDI KANU terrorism. You have not arrested Sheikh Gumi that said we should pay terrorists, we should pamper them, pet them, bring them, because some people offended them in the past. They have the right to kill everybody all around the country because some people offended them in the past. Sheikh Gumi that is there, pampering terrorists. You have not carried him as a terrorist. You are calling NNAMDI KANU that is telling civilians, defend yourself. You are calling him a terrorist. You understand? So that makes no sense. And why I believe is people from his home, and I talked about quid pro quo, is that NNAMDI KANU at best can incite the people from the East to defend themselves. And that will lead to breakdown of law and order. In democracy, there are provisions for these things. When there's breakdown of law and order all around the East, the president has the authority to declare a state of emergency in the East, whereby all politicians, all democratically elected offices will be taken over by the military. And there will now be a military takeover in the East to run the affairs of the East. Now you see where the quid pro quo can come from. It can come from the political elites in the East that are not ready to give up power. They don't want a situation where military will come and take over the leadership of the East. That's why they can be the ones behind this incarceration and trying to, take off the head of NNAMDI KANU, because he will keep speaking for the emancipation of the people from the East. But these political elites that are so power thirsty, power hungry, they won't want to give up that power. They won't want to see the military come to take over. That's why they want NNAMDI KANU to be perpetually behind bars or executed. So if Justice Omotosho will pronounce a judgment of execution or guilty of terrorism and all that, it will not be seen as justice in the eyes of us, the people of Nigeria, and in the eyes of everybody watching. It will never be seen as justice. So if you come out there to say he's guilty of terrorism, then it will not be seen as justice. And justice is not served when it's not seen as justice before the eyes of the people. And trust me, the world is watching. This man only came to talk about the killing of his people. You understand? The killing of his people, telling them to defend themselves. After the genocide, all the Christian and Igbos directed genocide in the north, back in the days, they killed them in their thousands. If you are in Igbo man, they behead you. Behead you ahead of the ones that they removed babies from the bellies of pregnant women. And if NNAMDI KANU is coming to talk about that, you are incarcerating him, then trust me, you are being used. You are being used by people to fight their battles. And they are using state resources for it. And you are a pawn in the game because they are using you from the case and call it political, because this case is political. It's politically fueled.
See, if you ask me, I'll say NNAMDI KANU won. I'm telling you, forget about the judgment. Forget about what they said in the court. To me, NNAMDI KANU won. NNAMDI KANU is a champion. Forget about the terrorism charges. Forget about that the court said, it was found wanting in the area of terrorism and every other thing. That is what they do. Every freedom fighter all over the world, when they want to convict them, that is what they normally charge them with. You understand? But it will be on record that NNAMDI KANU is a political prisoner. That is what is going to be on the record. Because the same thing with Nelson Mandela. He was also charged for terrorism, but he later came out and became the president of South Africa. So that is what, just go and study other freedom fighters all over the world. That is what they charge. Even Jesus Christ himself, he was charged for terrorism. You see, when they convict you, that doesn't mean that you are gone. Look at even the man we also called to come and save us in Nigeria, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an ex-convict. He was convicted. If not that Donald Trump became the president of America, by today, the guy would be in prison. So to me, I feel that NNAMDI KANU won. Because you see, let me say something. In one of my previous videos, I said that NNAMDI KANU will be convicted. Then after that, NNAMDI KANU and federal government and the 5 East governors in the eastern part of Nigeria, they will strike a deal. Then they will now release NNAMDI KANU. I said that in one of my previous videos. You can still go and watch it. So, but the reason why we're trying to put pressure on the government, because sometimes, they can still release him unconditionally without convicting him. That was the reason why before this judgment day today, we were trying to put pressure on the government, because I made a video today and I was urging Mr. TINUBU, that is the president, to just release NNADI KANU unconditionally. But since it didn't work out, there is no issue, because that was what happened even the time of Donald Trump in America. The party, that is the party that Donald Trump belongs to, Republican Party, they were even saying that just cancel this case, but the court didn't cancel the case. They went ahead and they convicted him. But he's the president of America today. So why I said NNADI KANU is a champion, because sometimes for you to become a champion, you have to be bold. You have to have a lion heart, because you cannot be fighting for a cause and they want to like convince you and you start crying. You understand? You are not a champion. A champion does not cry. A champion does not say, oh, please don't jail me. Oh, a champion will fight to the end, because when you're fighting for a cause, look at Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ came and they crucified him. Never say, please have mercy upon me, forgive me, now I surrender. No, he didn't surrender. But today we're all enjoying the salvation of our Lord Jesus Christ. Look at the great man against Samson in the Bible. Samson said, no, I'm not going to tell you, please, I'm not going to beg you, though he made a mistake. And so what I'm trying to say is that NNADI KANU won. He won because it's going to be on record that he didn't bow to the system, he didn't bow to pressure, he didn't say, please have mercy upon me. So to me, I feel that becoming an ex-convict is not an issue. So there is going to be a deal at the end of the day, that before this year finishes, NNADI KANU is going to come aside. Before the year finishes, NNADI KANU, you're not going to see any condemnation from any politician, mostly the politicians from the Southeast Nigeria. You're not going to see any condemnation, because there is already an agreement, there is already a deal between the Southeast government and the federal government. You understand? So they will get him out before the end of this year. It's a deal and something is going to happen. So, let's just keep our fingers across and pray for something good to happen. All right. Thank you, everyone.
So now the court now has convicted NNAMDI KANU and they say he is found guilty. If NNAMDI KANU is found guilty, then Shekinah Gomez is negotiating with bandits on national TV. Reason why they want to silence NNAMDI KANU is because NNAMDI KANU is the only voice that is powerful. Let me tell you one thing you people don't know. Some of our Igbo leaders and our Igbo elites are even behind NNAMDI KANU convention. Yes, our Igbo leaders and our Igbo elites are behind NNAMDI KANU's convention. The intimidation against the Igbos is becoming something else. And the worst part of it is that none of the Igbo celebrities are clamoring for justice for NNAMDI KANU. Now they have convicted NNAMDI KANU on what ground, on what charge, what is his offense? Waiting NNAMDI KANU commit. Why did they convict? Like, what is NNAMDI KANU's offense? The bandits are there, showing their faces. These people are showing their faces, walking freely, but they are there intimidating NNAMDI KANU. After making him spend how many years? Since 2021. It is today they finally found him guilty. Guilty of what? Why Shekinah Gomez is there negotiating without facing trial? But NNAMDI KANU is found guilty. Found guilty because he was agitating for Biafra. After they destroy his properties. What is NNAMDI KANU's offense? Because he agitated for the freedom of his own people. Now he is found guilty. After spending how many years, NNAMDI KANU is found guilty. Like the people that stoned Deborah to death in Sokoto, because according to them, they say he was blaspheming Prophet Muhammad. Up to date, those people were not caught. Those people are walking freely. They are walking freely. The bandits are walking freely. Onogo men are walking freely. And you are finding NNAMDI KANU guilty of what? Because he agitated for Biafra. Because he was agitating for the Igbos. Because he was agitating for his own people's freedom. What is NNAMDI KANU? What is his offense? I don't blame the federal government, actually. I blame the Igbos for tolerating rubbish. I blame the Igbos for putting themselves first for their own selfish interests, while their brother lavish for how many years in prison. Now they are finding him guilty of what? Shekinah Gomez is there without facing trial, but NNAMDI KANU is found guilty on what? And our Igbo elites. Do you people know that our Igbo leaders and our Igbo elites are behind NNAMDI KANU's conviction? They are behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's conviction. Our Igbo elites are behind it. Our Igbo governors, some of our Igbo governors are behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's conviction because they all have skeleton. They don't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be free because they know that once Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free, everywhere will scatter. They know what they are hiding. Everything Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said about Nigeria is what is happening right now. People should go back to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's speech some years ago. Everything he said that will happen in Nigeria is what is happening right now. Kidnapping everywhere. You cannot even travel by road freely again. Everything, burning of churches, things are happening in Nigeria. Things Mazi Nnamdi Kanu prophesied is what is happening right now. That's what they want to say.
All right, so today is good news. Yeah, it's good news. Look at why I'm calling it good news. I'm aware that most of my Igbo people are angry. I'm aware. I'm angry, but looking at this closely, if you look at what transpired today in the law court, I saw politics, not justice. Politics, not justice. First and foremost, all the lawmakers from Southeast Nigeria, only one man was present. The man is from Abia State, Umaya. Only one lawmaker was present. Others are not present. And people are angry. People are looking at, look at what I told somebody. Around, the judgment was around 3:40 p.m. Look at my discussion with somebody. The person was thinking that they will sentence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to death by RIP. They want to say they go buy him. You understand? I tell her that's not possible. Look at what I told him around 2:28. I tell her, say, TINUBU will pardon him next year. Na campaign strategy. I'm coming. I tell him, you can't buy MNK. Look at the time, 2:32 p.m. More than 1 hour before the final judgment, because I don't see the thing they call. It will scatter the country and cause more harm. Right now in Nigeria, they fire now. The international community, their eyes in Nigeria. And you think under that situation, they will sentence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to RIP? It's not possible. The country is already on hits. Look at what I told the guy. Any funny judgment now can lead to anything. It will be worse than 2023. So you think say politicians no get sense? Currently, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the most important Igbo man alive. Far more important and influential than Mr. P2B. So what happened right now? I know. So they go sentence him to life imprisonment. Then hit go there. Then let, of course, President TINUBU go come as, of course, President. Grant Mazi Nnamdi Kanu presidential pardon so that Ingo fit get the interest. More love from Southeast. Still to destabilize Mr. Peter Obi. Now the thing where they happen. So don't be angry about it. Nothing is going to happen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing will happen to him. And I dropped a picture of one guy. The ISWAP leader was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment. ISWAP leader was granted 20 years imprisonment. Then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, life imprisonment. That's to show you that politics was totally playing out. While our eyes there, what did happen for Abuja? Right now, happening in Washington, D.C., live. U.S. Congress hearing on alleged genocide in Nigeria. Right now, U.S. they discuss Nigeria matter. So just imagine, U.S. put attention. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu judgment, quick. Life imprisonment, sharp. Now politics they play. At the end, Oga TINUBU will come and settle everything, and that's what's going to happen. Yeah, about those 20-something girls where they pick, where they carry the 20-something girls should be back. Yeah, 20-something girls, the SYZ Brigadier, SYZ Platoonium, and SYZ Battalion, and they'll go and rescue the girls. Nothing will happen to the girls. Most of the things happening in Nigeria now politics. If you pay closer, because Nigeria is trying to do everything possible to make US know, or to convince US that nothing is wrong with Nigeria. So don't be bothered about it. Just sit down and watch how this plays. If you understand political analysis, which like I do, I understand politics. Now waiting the play. So just sit down and watch out. Now some of my friends are telling me that why will I be calling the video to come and talk about the genocide in Nigeria, that he has dropped a tweet. A tweet is not enough. No be tweet, ISWAP they drop. ISWAP they take action. Donald Trump now way in video now they shake Nigeria to the road. No be tweet he drop, now talk. If a celebrity wants to make real impact, now video, no be tweets. And the video go they come back to back. Nicki Minaj, no be tweet she make, she came to speak. Donald Trump, no be talk, no be tweet Donald Trump make, she came to speak. If you really want to make impact and you want the world to hear you, put a camera on your face and speak. So all the celebrities just a tweet, they never serious. If they want to market their show what they do, all those their show, all their talk. Now tweet they drop videos. If they want to advertise for brands, now tweet they drop videos. So nobody will tell that the video don't drop tweet. It's not enough.
In as much as it's better than people like Whiskey and others who keep quiet. But if Davido and other celebrities want to really make an impact, put your face on a camera, make a 1-minute video. It shows you're in solidarity, not tweets.
Almost everything that NNAMDI KANU said in the past is happening now. Just before you judge me or judge him, because I be judgist. Just be aware that everything, me join the judge am before, but just I want me you know this and no peace, that almost everything this man said in the past is happening now. They will rape your mothers, they will take your women, they will kill your men, they are coming for your family. That is happening. It's happening. It happen and be no happen. It's happening. Please, Justice James Omotosho, do us the favor. Hurry up. May not be like 2023 election where we wake up, we see verdict. Hurry up. It's not like we don't know where this judgment is going towards. So, but what bothers some of us is how did it take this long to get here? Why did it take this long to get here? How is this ISWAP leader getting just 20 years? 20 years. People that should be actually beheaded. These are people that have committed the actual crime. Getting just 20 years. 20 years in prison. As soon as the KANU has served 10 years in trial. It not make sense. Just help us sorry or people did die. This pastor they still kill am yesterday. The girls they never see. Brigade they don't know that they don't bury her. A lot is happening. Help us sorry. But you where the judge online, they see in the comment section. Hey, this one, that one. Be aware that everything the man said. Let's say wait, talk, we make that the trial treason. Is happening. It's happening. The people where they kidnap inside church, well, one guy say 2 auntie and the grandma dey inside. They never still see them till now. Okay, do with the information when you like. How is Gumi even working freely? Somebody that knows the whereabouts of all the terrorists and advocates for terrorists. He comes outside to advocate for terrorists and criticize anybody that goes against these terrorists that kill people, and he's working freely. But I get out. Should get out. Somebody's going to rush into my comment section and say, "Oh, you're IPOB. Apologies. I don't know what is IPOB. I don't even know the full meaning." But I'm just saying that whatever this man said in the past is happening now. Is it or is it not? I've been trying not to make a video about this. I've been trying to just, what was going on. I saw him arguing. One thing you can't take away from that man is his strength. He's unbroken. And they watch and it's like they call up there and say, God will punish you now forever. You don't know the law. The person say you don't know law. You're sure for the law now. Where you forget rights to waive a right of final address, and what they call out. Show him in the law. But obviously, there's an agenda. I won't be shocked if they give him life imprisonment, death by hand. After all, they said it's treason. Common protesters will protest that for NVAD governance. Now treason, they still charge them. My dear, hurry up. Help me tell them, hurry up. People are dying in Nigeria. And sadly, this man even prophesied it.
Now that it has been confirmed, it's no longer news that the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been sentenced to life imprisonment by Justice Omotosho of the Abuja Federal High Court. Now, this is the message. The message is loud and clear. I know many will be celebrating, while many will be grieving. I'm among those that grieves over judgment like this. It is not about if Nnamdi Kanu was guilty or not guilty. The question is, was this truly justice delivered? Or was it just the wishes of some persons being carried out? That's something you must look at too. Meanwhile, let's go back to November 1995. A great son of the southern part of Nigeria, in the likes of Kensaro Wiwa, was also condemned to death. 30 years ago, November 1995. I don't know if any of you still remember. November 1995, the tribunal, the military tribunal of General Sani Abacha sentenced Ogoni activists to death. A sentence carried out with ruthless precision. 30 years later, the same November 2025, Nnamdi Kanu has been given a life imprisonment. These are voices taken out and taken down. And for you that may want to laugh, that may want to say that serves him right, because you don't like Kanu or you don't like the Igbos, it is your line of defense that is constantly being torn down. What is Kanu's main offense? Why has he been sentenced to life imprisonment? He exposed secrets. He said so many things that was going to happen about the Fulani Caliphate and their intention to take over Nigeria.
We are sure today that the Islams, the Muslims are no longer hiding the truth that they intend to take over the world, not just Nigeria. So whatever they are doing in Nigeria has been revealed by Kanu earlier was a fact. So him revealing their secret earlier enough to prepare you for a proper defense was his biggest offense, in collaboration with him being from the southeastern part of Nigeria, a part that have been considered as not one of them. You get the point now? But this is really unfortunate. It is a sad day for Nigeria, because I wonder how a judicial system who have recently sentenced an ISWAP leader to 20 years imprisonment, an ISWAP leader who has taken lives in thousands, confirmed with evidence, was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. But NNNADI KANU was never caught with a direct weapon, neither was there a killing directly connected to him, but he has been given what? Life imprisonment. That isn't justice. That could not have been justice. Maybe they may want to go to appeal this judgment, but it's not going to make any difference, because this judgment has long been scripted. It was only being read on November 2025. And some person think we have a country. Imagine a country where the justice system is this porous, where the justice system is to fulfill the wish and desire of one person or some individuals. We are all cooked. We are all fucked. Be happy, laugh at Kanu, laugh at the Igbos. You might just be the next. You and I know that the case of Kanu would have been different if he was a Mohammed or if he was Femi. It would not have been the same. It became what it became because his name was NNAMDI KANU from the southeastern part of Nigeria. This is not fair. They should not go to appeal. They should not go to the Supreme, because which I've seen the lawyers will be preparing to appeal and then to the Supreme. It is all the same. This is a judgment already decided long before now. Some people have the opinion that this judgment has been on ground even before the late Buhari, but the Fulani are so smart and intelligent to increase the division, further division between the southeast and the southwest. They wait for the regime of a Yoruba president to deliver this judgment. But you that have delivered a judgment, if you are not fair in this judgment, maybe you just did it to suit anybody's wishes and ego. Remember, the man whose regime arrested NNAMDI KANU has been buried long time ago. There are so many Igbo top politicians who said they will never be alive to see NNAMDI KANU freed. I know some of them, they are dead now. So you that is carrying out justice that is truly not justice, would you also live forever? The answer is no. So it pains me deep to the marrows of my bone, because what we expected was going to happen eventually happened. NNAMDI KANU know. He knew himself that this how it was going to play out. Because it's not because he was that guilty of every count charges that was leveled against him, but because of who he is, what he has exposed, the toll he has stepped on, the part of the country he originated from. All of this emanated to this life imprisonment. If 30 years ago, a son of the southern part of Nigeria suffered this in his life, in the person of Kensaro Wiwa, and 30 years on, another great son of the southern part of Nigeria is suffering this. Whereas there is no criminal in the northern part of Nigeria with same record or that have gotten same treatment, then I think the language is loud and clear. You see the Fulani Caliphate, you are on course in acquiring your mission. And you see the docile, dummy southern politicians, especially the politicians or the so-called leaders of the southeast. Shame on you people. It is time we all gather to pour you all spit. Pour! You are not useful. You should be celebrating that one of your own, the voice speaking against what he feel as was going wrong. He said our mothers will be raped, our daughters will be raped, our wives will be raped, our husbands will be killed in their farmlands, our territory will be taken over. These are the things he exposed long time ago. They are playing right now. And now to further silence him, you send him to prison for good. I hope the conviction of NNAMDI KANU will stop Boko Haram and banditry in Nigeria. Will it? I hope Nigeria will be peaceful now. A Nigeria that a certain Shegumi is an idol. They worship him. They worship his feet when he moves. Nigeria is so much of a joke. But strangely, the citizens are also not serious. Are we? Of course we are not. This is a painful one, and Nigeria will live to remember this day. This was not justice, not from a justice system that could not define the meaning of "and" in 2023 presidential election litigation. They don't know what "and" mean, but now they could hurriedly read out a script already written to send a voice speaking against their demonic act to life imprisonment. Now, well done, oh, the world is watching. Nigerian leaders are the disgrace the outside world are seeing. Let's see where this take you guys to. I hope Nigeria will be peaceful from tomorrow, right? And also the Igbo leaders, Igbo political leaders, I pour you all spit again. You are all a bunch of disgrace.
Hello everyone out there. This is your friend and brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. I'm driving somewhere right now. You know, I just saw what just happened with the NNAMDI KANU case, and I'm so angry, if I may even use the word, full of rage. I'm telling you, the government of Nigeria is evil, is wicked, heartless. Tinubu's government, starting from Buhari, is dead and gone. But since Tinubu came to continue where Buhari ended, the same evil is being perpetuated. God Almighty will judge all of you. People are being killed in thousands, and you are not doing anything to stop the killing by these terrorists, the Fulani headsmen, ISWAP, and all the other evil people that have given the nation no rest. You don't know how to go after them. You went and falsely accused somebody just for agitating for his people, wanting his people to be free, because you don't want the Nigeria to work. And all that NNAMDI Kanu was calling was for the freedom of his people, because you have disenfranchised the Igbos, the Southeast. And shame on you, Southeastern governors, senators, House of Rep, wicked people. All you think is your own agenda. You are working against your own brother. Can you imagine if it was a Fulani that was behind bars? They would have released him. They are now calling these terrorists repentant, negotiating with the terrorists. A man that was only saying, if you don't want us, let us go on our own. And now they are judging to convict him. What is NNAMDI Kanu's fault? What has he done? Kangaroo courts. Evil people. I mean, this is evil. I am from Kaduna State. I'm from the north. But I'm telling you, the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. Heartless people, wicked people, evil connivers. And now they want to, they went and falsely and, illegally arrested, bundled and brought NNAMDI Kanu from Kenya on false charges just because he wants his people to be free. What is his crime? What have you done to these killers, the headsmen? You negotiate. Have you been ready to negotiate with NNAMDI Kanu? He's only agitating. What did he do? What is his sin? What is his sin? You can't stop terrorists, but you are going after an innocent man. You don't want the Igbos. You don't want them to agitate. And yet, hey, TINUBU, release NNAMDI Kanu. But because TINUBU, it has an evil, wicked heart. Now the terrorists, they say there's no genocide. Wicked people. And now see what just happened in the CSC church in the Kwara State. I used to tell people that these evil people are heading down south. They're not only going to be doing this thing in the north, and people were saying it's not possible. But see what they are doing now even in Kwara State. See that old woman that was struggling to walk. These people are not to be negotiated with. They are killers. Hey, you know what? If we don't want to remain one in the nation, let's release those that want to be on their own. It's not by force. You say you want them, but you don't want to give them any chance, any room. The kangaroo court saying that they is guilty of how many charges? Wicked. All the people that they say they have found them, they arrested them as terrorists. Have you had anything happen? And we know, they say they know the sponsors. Government knows who the sponsors of this terrorism are. Your vice president, was he not, is he not on record that he is the one that was behind Boko Haram? What has happened? He's your vice president. Muslim ticket. And then they come with false narrative. I was watching the so-called foreign minister lying on television, saying 100 and something people were killed. When there is genocide, a brigadier lost his life. Listen, if you don't want that, those of you wicked, evil people that don't want to see progress in this nation, God will judge you. Wicked people, you evil politicians, you evil, heartless politician. All you are thinking about is your welfare, especially those of you from the southeast. God will punish all of you. Wicked people. Evil connivers. All you are thinking is your own belly. You will not live forever. Wicked people like Wike and all the southern state governors, especially southeast, and they are all ganging up, decamping. You'll be voted from this party, you got the ticket from this party, and you are all ganging up. You thieves, you rogues, you wicked people, armed robbers. You don't deserve to live. Release NNAMDI KANU now. Release him. What has he done to you? Wicked people, evil people. All of you, most of those politicians, they are the ones that deserve to be behind bars for life, forever, from president down. Thieves, rogues, crooks, heartless, bloodsuckers. God will punish you. Release NNAMDI KANU. This is a northerner speaking from Kaduna State. Release NNAMDI KANU now. This kangaroo court, kangaroo judgment must come to an end. Wicked people. You don't want Southeast with all their intelligence, with all their wisdom. You know where Nigeria would have been today if we had allowed the Southeast, the IGBOs? It's because you don't want them. You work against them. That's why they say if you don't want us, release us. That's why many of you didn't want Peter Obi, because he's from the Southeast. And the wicked part, the evil part, heartless part, selfish, greedy Igbos that are in politics, they are jealous of Peter Obi. They don't want him to come in because he will outshine them. Evil people, your end has come. Many days for the thief, 1 day for the owner. The owners of Nigeria, their time is now for their freedom from you wicked people. And the judiciary, the legislative arm of government, and the executive arm, the three arms of government, have connived against Nigerians. Nigerians, if you don't stand up and fight for yourself, don't expect these people to do it. TINUBU is gathering them for 2027. They are not thinking about you. Politics is not working. It's kangaroo. They are all complice to what is happening. They are the sponsors. They are working against you. If you don't rise up and fight for yourself, don't expect that they will do it for you. Sorry, there was a call coming. I don't know if there was a break. But I want to say thank you. Please go ahead and share this broadcast with as many people as you can. Nigerians, we must stand for ourselves. Don't wait for these politicians. They are evil. The politicians, the courts, the judiciary, and the legislative arm, they have ganged up together against Nigerians. Only Nigerians can stand up to free themselves from these wicked, evil people. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Share this broadcast with as many people as you can. I remain your brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. One nation, one Nigeria. But the only way we're going to do it is that we must stop the hypocrisy, stop the lying, and make sure we give everybody a chance and not only be saying it with lips. Go after the terrorists if you prove you know the law. You have left the terrorists, you release them, the sponsors, you know them, but you don't know how to go after them. You're going after an innocent man. Release NNAMDI KANU now! Bye-bye. Please share this with as many people as you can. Every Nigerian needs to get it. President must hear this. Shetima must hear this. Akpabio must hear this. Whosoever is the chief judge, all of them must hear this. Enough of this wickedness. May God punish all of you.